Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, Donald Trump had a meltdown over on his failing social media site because a new batch of polling came out and it shows just how much everyone hates him. So, check this out. This was his post. It says, "My real polling numbers, not those made up by the fake news media, are the best they have ever been. And why wouldn't they be with the biggest tax cuts and employment numbers ever? The biggest outside investment in America in world history, a totally secure border, a giant victory in Venezuela, the denuclearization of Iran, unparalleled respect, and success throughout the world, and more, much more. Don't believe the radical left's fake poll numbers. They are crooked and corrupt, just like the country destroying Democrats, all capitalized for some reason, and crooked and corrupt, or just like the country destroying Democrats are crooked and corrupt. Vote Republican for greatness in America. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President TJT." So, literally nothing in there is true except for the border being secure. Nothing that he mentioned in there is accurate except for the border. Every single other thing is false. It turns the narrative on its head. It's like, oh my God. So here's what has triggered him. He, like I said, got some horrific polling. So here's the AP NORC poll. As you can see, this is his approval and disapproval rating. I mean, just sad, just so sad for him. Um, or actually, no, this is on immigration. I take that back. So these are his numbers on immigration. 39% approval on immigration, something that he was so popular on. This is down, by the way, from 49% at the beginning of his presidency. So it's dropped 10 points in just a year and a half. And his numbers are just being driven down every single month, mostly by, and especially on immigration, by Democrats, but also independents. So take a look at this. So it says 8 out of 10 Republicans approve of Trump's immigration policies, which is still pathetic because 20% of your own party and people who voted for you disapprove of a topic of an issue that used to be one of your number one best issues. So anyway, it shows only 7% of Democrats approve, or 29% of independents. And most of the respondents told these pollsters he has gone too far. It's not because they're unhappy that he's not being cruel enough. The majority say it is because he has gone too far. I also have a slide to show you from the AP NORC poll on the economy. So also totally unpopular, even more so than his immigration policy. Here it is. You can see only 69% of Republicans approve of his handling of the economy, 18% of independents, and only 6% of Democrats. Who are those Democrats? I want to know what they have to be just the wealthiest people on the planet. That is absurd to me. And I also want to show you guys that 70% of the respondents in this polling said that the economy is doing poor. Look at that. It says 69%, but they say 7 out of 10, so they're rounding up a little bit. But that absolutely includes some of his own voters. It has to, at almost 70%. So only 30% of either people who, again, are lobotomized or just not paying attention, or the wealthiest people in our country, they're the only ones who approve. They're that 30%. The Reuters Ipsos poll is equally as bad for Donald Trump. So here's his approval and disapproval rating. I mean, 35% approval, 63% disapproval. That is so pathetic. That is just so horrific for him. I feel so bad. Can't you tell? So, and then the first time in this poll, for the Reuters Ipsos, Democrats are now more trusted on the economy. Look at this. I mean, it's only by 1 point. It's still tight, but again, this is the first time ever in the Reuters Ipsos poll. So, you know that you are screwing up royally when you are hitting these first ever marks. And then take a look. So I have also Navigator Research, they're polling. Again, more bad news for Donald Trump. So as you can see here, it said this is his overall job performance, and then on the economy, gas prices, and foreign policy, he is way underwater on everything. He has a 62% disapproval on both his overall job approval and how he's handling the economy. Only 37% approve of his job overall, only 35% on the economy. As far as gas prices go, that is the worse for him, worst of all, I should say. So 75% disapprove of how he's handling gas prices, only 22% approve. Foreign policy, which also used to be one of his strengths, he is only at a 35% approval, 59% disapproval. So it's really like, what do you do with this? If you're a Republican, how do you look at this and have any faith that you're going to win your race in November? Right? And then check this out. As of now, about almost 1/4 of Donald Trump's 2024 voters regret casting their ballot for him. Look at this. So it says, if 2024 Trump voter, you indicated you voted for Donald Trump in 2024, do you regret voting for Donald Trump? Overall, 23% say yes. 77% say no. Now, many of you are probably going, well, that's ridiculous. It should be much higher. Guys, I mean, think of how many people in your own life, your family, your friends, that would admit that they're wrong. Could you get 23% of the people in your life to admit that they're wrong about anything? Essentially, that's what this is. Okay, so we're getting 23% to say, yeah, I fucked up. And then look at that. If you look down below, 10% of people who consider themselves to be MAGA, even 10% of them regret their vote. And then there's clearly a generational divide. If you look at the bottom, 30% of people 54 and under regret it, whereas only 14% of those 55 and older. So I guess the older you get, the more, entrenched you are in your views, or you're watching Fox News is probably more likely what it is. Um, and then check this next one out, guys. So they put together a word cloud for all of these people who said that they regret voting for Trump. They asked them to give them a word to explain why. Check this out. So you see, promises, economy, war. And then only slightly smaller underneath that is Iran and prices. You can also see inflation, doesn't care. I don't know what make means. I don't know. I don't know. Make worse. I don't know. I'm putting two words together. But anyway, some of the quotes that they got was, he has involved the U.S. in a war that is not our fight to be in. The economy is bad and the cost of living is not affordable. Another said, he didn't live up to any of his promises. The economy and cost of living is the worst it's ever been. Another said, he has not kept many of the promises that he made to the American people. So pretty clear, right? Like, people are feeling like they got schnookered. They got bamboozled, they got duped, and they're pissed at him. Anyway, and then voters under 50 are really dragging Donald Trump down the most. So I have a video to show you. This is from the latest CNN poll. It was conducted by SSRS on their behalf. And so this is on the polling on the various demographics. So check this out.
Under the age of 50 on Trump. In the fall of 2024, Kamala Harris led in our polling by just 3 points. Look at where Donald Trump is. He was within 3 points of Kamala Harris. Now his net approval rating on the year and the average of CNN polling, look at that, minus 41 points. In the fall of 2024, the choice for House margin, Democrats were leading amongst those under the age of 50 by 4 points. Look at that lead now, though. Look at that lead now. It's more than 4 times that, a double-digit shift. Their lead is now 17 points. Look at those 50 and older. Look at that. Republicans led by 8. They now lead by 6. Basically the same. I mean, look at this. Voters under the age of 50, the choice for the House, among the extremely motivated. You go back to the fall of 2024, Democrats only had a 2-point lead amongst them. Look at this lead now in the 2026 average. It's a 46-point advantage among the voters who are most likely to turn out, because midterm elections have lower turnout than presidential years.
So, yeah, people are more motivated on the left, and the people on the right are pissed off. I mean, it's not hard to figure out. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. And then check this out, you guys. So, Sabado's crystal ball, which, they do analysis and so forth on races, they have moved 14 races now towards the Democrats. That's as of July 30th. And there's 13 House races that they moved and 1 Senate race. So here is part of the breakdown of the House races. And I'll read these off to you because you might not be able to make it out. So Lauren Boebert's seat was a safe Republican seat. It's now likely Republican. So they downgraded her. Jahana Hayes, I believe is how you pronounce it, was likely Democratic. It's now safe Democratic. That's in Connecticut. Kathy Castor, she's a Democrat in Florida. That seat leaned Republican. It is now a toss-up. Sharice Davids is a Democrat in Kansas. She was likely Democratic, her seat. It is now safe Democratic in Kansas, you guys. Don Davis is a Democrat in North Carolina. His seat was lean Republican. It is now a toss-up. And take a look at this one. So Chuck Edwards in North Carolina, actually, this guy, I think, just dropped out today, if I'm not mistaken, or yesterday, because he was caught in a scandal. So this is now even worse, because it was lean Republican when he was still in. It went to a toss-up. Nellie Poo or Pow, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Anyway, I apologize to Nellie if her last name is not Poo. But anyway, she's a Democrat in New Jersey. Her seat was lean Democratic. Now it is likely Democratic. Mike Lawler is a Republican in New York. His seat was lean Republican. It's now a toss-up. Josh Riley, Democrat in New York, lean Republican seat, lean Democratic seat. It's now likely Democratic. Max Miller, who I did the video on I think it was Monday, who is just scandal ridden for, allegations of beating his wife and child and other women over the years. His seat was likely Republican. It has been moved to leans Republican. And then these are the last 3 House seats. So Rob Bresnahan, he's a Republican in Pennsylvania. His seat was lean Republican. It's now toss-up. South Carolina 1 was open. That used to be Nancy Mace's seat, the Republican. It was a safe Republican seat. It's now likely Republican. Monica De La Cruz is a Republican in Texas. She is definitely in trouble. Her seat was likely Republican. It now leans Republican. So she is the Republican who is running in the district that is Monica De La Cruz, that is very heavily populated with Hispanic residents. I mentioned her before because she's freaking out. She is running against a guy who's this popular Tejano singer, and she is losing people to him because she is still voting for Donald Trump's immigration policies, these horrific, just catastrophic policies for the people of her district. So they see this, all of the Hispanic people in that district, and they're like, what are you doing? Like, we're Republicans, we backed you, we're conservatives, but you are totally screwing us over. So I would say they should have moved that seat even further away from her. But anyway, all right, guys. So that is it for today. I will have more polling for you next week. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.